this is Ashley from Ashley's Creations, and as promised, I wanted to go ahead and show you this little pocket card that I promised to show you how to do in my paper tray ink haul video. So I'm going to set that aside and we're going to get started. I have an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of Enchanted Evening by Paper Tray Ink, and we're going to fold that in half to get a standard A2 size card. I really like A2. I don't usually work with other sizes. And then we're going to put that aside because we don't need that for now. This is a 5 1/4 by 4 layer of Aqua Mist by Paper Tray Ink. And then this layer right here is 3 3/4 by 5. And it is from the Die Cuts with a View, the Blossom Song stack. And it's just a bunch of flowers. Here's the one we're using. I think it's really pretty, so I picked it up when they had their sale. There's a pink one of the blue that we're using today. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. Now we're going to layer these together because we can do that. So we have our little layers put together. So we can move on from that. Okay, now I'm going to bring my Big Shot into the picture. I hope you guys can see this. Hopefully I can find my piece of paper to cut. Okay. And we are going to use the Paper Tray Ink dies that go along with the stamp set that we're going to work with. And there is a pocket that we're going to cut out. So we're going to cut out this pocket right here. And I'm going to take and I'm going to layer it on my Enchanted Evening. We're going to take and sandwich. I'm going to make sure I leave a little bit of room because I'm going to cut something else out from this little sheet because I don't like to waste paper. Okay, so there's our little pocket. So we're going to put that one aside. We're going to cut the next one. Pull out of this little baggie here. And this is the little tag that you would see on a pocket. So we're going to take and we're going to cut that little tag out from our Enchanted Evening as well. Okay, so we have our little tag cut out right here. So we have a pocket and a tag. I'm going to set those aside over there so I don't lose it. We're done with that piece. And then we're going to cut out one more. We're just going to cut it out of white. And it's the little posies. So let's layer this on again. We're going to cut out our little posies. Okay, we have all our cuts, so I'm going to put my Big Shot away and get it out of the way. So here's our little posy. Doesn't want to come out of the die. Okay, so like I said, Big Shot aside. I'm going to go ahead and put my dies back in the bag so that we don't lose them. Because then how would I cut them out except for my hands, and that's too much work. So here's our pocket, our tag, and our posies. So let me show you the stamp set that we're going to be working with. This is called Back Pocket Basics. And we're going to stamp this pocket right here. We're going to stamp it in Whisper White. And I forgot to pull it out. So we're going to stamp in Whisper White. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quickly. Make sure it's all nice and inked up. And since they're clear stamps, you can line them up pretty well. Okay, so there's our pocket. And we're also going to take this little tag that says Posies on it. We're going to do that in the Whisper White too. Okay, so it's a little hard to read, but that's okay. So we're going to put those aside because we're done with the white. And then I'm going to put those aside because we're done with those for the time being. We're going to take our flowers, and here's what it looks like right here. And I'm going to stamp it in Raspberry Fizz by Paper Tip Ink. And this is the outside, and then we're going to stamp the inside in a different color. Okay. Make sure I get it all lined up right. Oh. And I'm not really happy with that, so I'm going to try that again, and then I'll come back with one that I like. Okay, I'm back, and I have recut out my flower using my die. Sometimes with paper tray inks, they recommend that, or with their stamps, they recommend that you take an eraser and you rub off any excess material. And I didn't do that when I first got my stamp because I didn't have my eraser, so I did it now. So hopefully it should stamp good. So let's try this again. Make sure that I get it perfect. It's hard to see the white on white. Okay, and that looks pretty good to me. So we're going to cover up our Raspberry Fizz. And we're going to take the inside of the flowers right here, and we're going to stamp them with Blushing Bride by Stampin' Up. So we're going to take this step off to make sure that this one is going to come out. Okay, it does. Alright, so we're going to get it all inked up. And then we're going to line it up inside our flowers. Okay, and that turned out okay. I think I might take my Blushing Bride marker and go over that one right there that didn't fill in all the way. Okay. Next we're going to take some rhinestones by Stampin' Up, and we're going to put them in the middle of the little flowers. I'm just using my paper piercer here to do that. It just gives the flowers a little bit of bling. Okay, I'm going to take my pocket and I'm going to pierce. There's 4 little holes. I'm going to pierce those little holes while I have my paper piercer out. And inside of my little holes, I'm going to put mini brads to make it look like a little pocket. And we're going to have to cut off the little ends of these, but that's okay. Okay, so now that I've got all 4 brads, I'm just going to take my scissors. I'm going to snip the ends of these. We'll put this aside. Bring our layers back out. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is this is the Swiss Dot Enchanted Evening Ribbon. And I'm going to take and I'm going to wrap it around the edges right here. And I ran out of tape, so I'm going to use my tape runner to do that. Just going to wrap it around with some tape runner on the edge of the ribbon. Okay, so there's one corner. Now we're going to do this corner. Okay, and we can take and layer this onto our card. Get some of these pieces put together. Oops. This would be better if I had tape to do that. Okay, so now our card is finally starting to come together a little bit. And we can take and put pop dots on the back of our little pocket. And you don't need 4. I think I actually cut them up the last time, but for the sake of the video, I'm just going to do 4. And I'm going to put it, let's see, 2 flowers right here. So we're going to put our little pocket right about here. Okay. And then we're going to take the little tag, and we'll put about half a pop dot on the back of this. And we are going to put it with the little circle down. So I did it wrong on the other card, but the circle goes down. We'll put it on there. And then the next thing we need to do is put the pop dots on our posies. I use a lot of pop dots on my cards. I just ordered 3 new sets from Stampin' Up! Though, so I'm not worried about it. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is stamp our sentiment, and I cut these 3 pieces out from Elegant Edges. It's on page 70, it's the very last page, and we did the oblong shift. I cut this layer at 2 1/4. Oops, sorry about that. I cut the pattern layer at 2 1/2, and then I cut the Whisper White layer at 2 3/4. Okay, so we're going to take our sentiment, and it's sending you a pocket full of, and we're going to do that in black. Let me pull one of these stamps off. Give myself a block. So we're going to stamp that in black. That is white. Black's over here. Stamp it again off to make sure it's going to come up, okay? Sending you a pocket full of. And then we're going to do the posies. It says a pocket full of posies. We're going to do that in the raspberry fizz. I don't have enough blocks. Pocket full of posies. Okay, so the posies is going to go right underneath that. And in raspberry fizz, so it stands out from the rest of the thing. And then we're going to take and put that on Pop Dots. And I already put some on this one, so I'm going to put them on the opposite sides. I had them on the sides, I'm going to put on the top and bottom. And we're going to layer it on top of this one. And then I'm going to take these off. And layer it onto the Whisper White layer. Okay, and I'm just going to put this on with the tape runner since there's already some popping with the other layers. Make sure you stick it down really well. I've had problems with tape runner coming off of pattern paper. These buttons that I picked out are from Paper Tray Ink, and I don't think they are Enchanted Evening because I have another set that's darker than this, which I think would match Enchanted Evening better. So I'm not exactly sure which color they are, but they have a bunch of blues, so it's one of them. So if you can go on and look and see. I'm going to use a glue dot and put them right in the corners of this little elegant edges cut, so that it draws your attention more to this little saying. And then the last thing that I'm going to add is this bow. It's the same ribbon as was already on the card, and I tied it off camera to save time. And I'm just going to add that with a glue dot as well. Okay, so there you have it. There is the finished card, and here is the other one that I've made. So hopefully I'll get to use more of my Paper Tray Ink goodies, but their new release happens in 6 days, so I'll probably be buying some new stuff because I have an obsession. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my video, and I'll see you again soon. Bye now.